this is Face the Music. One of their Yellow's albums called Face the Music came out in '75. I was 5 years old when this thing came out. Sounds like the opening to some Steven Spielberg movie. I'm near it, I'm near it, I'm near it, near it. No, and what it says, you can turn back, you can turn the record back, but you can turn back time. Turn back, turn back. That's what it's saying. It's backmasked, and so you have to turn the record back to hear that message. And this that song goes. That song in New Mexico, the Channel 5 News with Dick Niffing, if anybody could recall from New Mexico, they played Fire on High as their kind of the song for the 5 o'clock news, you know, on Channel 5. And I don't know if they got I think in those days it was very hard for anybody to like really get anybody to pay anything for copyright infringement or anything like that, you know. And so any kind of news channel, anybody could take any old song and throw it into their program and not have to worry about lawyers finding out about it and somebody suing them, because the world wasn't connected like it is now. Now it's like anybody could find that, you know, find using that music. But back then, people just kind of used music where they wanted to. That's how the music ended up in the, you know, that's how things like what was it? The song for the football programs, you know, they play Sirius from that comes from Eye in the Sky by the Alan Parsons Project, you know. People that Alan Parsons Project is like it came from that Mike Myers movie. He says, no, that's where he got the idea for the name, the Alan Parsons Project, is it's a band. It says, I'll call it the Alan Parsons Project. I'm sure everybody just kind of rolled their eyes and like, oh no. And let's see. I don't know any of these songs. Oh, that's where that starts. That's how that starts out, and that's from the album. Hey woman, you got the blues. You ain't got no one else to use. There's an open road that leads nowhere, so just make some miles between here and there. There's a hole in my head where the rain comes in. You took my body and it played to win. Ha, ha, woman, it's a crying shame, but you ain't got nobody else to blame. Hey, evil woman, da, 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 da. Evil woman, da, 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 da. Evil woman, da, 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 da. Evil woman, da, 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 da. Rode in another town, hid some gold, too hot to settle down. But a fool and his money soon go separate ways. You found that fool lying in days. Ha ha, woman, what you gonna do? You destroyed all the virtues that the Lord gave you. It's so good that you're feeling pain. Yes, you better get your face on the very next train. Dun, dun, evil woman. Dun, 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 dun. Evil woman. Dun, 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 dun. Evil woman. Dun, 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 dun. Evil woman. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that comes from that album. And there are a bunch of I just didn't grow up listening to that album, so I don't know it. The one I did was I got New World Record from my brother, and that's the one I listened to all the Yellow tunes from. But that's what I would do is I would start with New World Record and I'd work my way up from there. If you're gonna listen to some ELO and kind of get familiar with it, and then once you get up to Balance of Power, because it goes the way it goes is it goes New World Record, then it goes Out of the Blue, then it goes to Discovery, then it goes to Time. Then it goes to Hidden Messages. Then it goes to Balance of Power, and then you would go back and get some of the other ones that I don't understand the ordering to them, like Can't Get It Out of My Head. Not Can't Get Out of My. It's called El Dorado is the name of the album, and you get Face the Music, and the Overture album, and those are the older ones that kind of give you a glimpse as to kind of the problems they had earlier on trying to make the music, because they had to put guitar amps on cellos and violins. They really were trying to create an electric guitar orchestra is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make electric, try to make electric sounding instruments so they could have a complete orchestra. And but by the time they got to Balance of Power, pretty much the entire orchestra was swapped out for synthesizers. And even though the songs are kind of easy to listen to, it's kind of hard to listen to if you're an ELO fan, because that's about the time that Jeff Lynne was just kind of like watering down his entire band to like him and Richard Tandy, and like they had Bev Bevan in there and some of the others, but their entire violin and cello section had disappeared from the album because he didn't want to manage all those other guys, and have to argue with those guys about what to do and things like that. And by that time in the 80s, everything had gone to synth pop, and with synth pop, you didn't really need to have any other members of your band. You just needed yourself. If you could do all the music yourself, you could do it yourself. And there was no need to have extra band members. And you just listen to anything that Steve Winwood would do in Ark of a Diver and listened to some of his albums, and that's just him by himself playing, nobody else, you know. And that's the amount of creative control it allowed artists is to, you know, they didn't have to have any other members. And now we're going back the other way. We're going back to people playing in bands and sharing the responsibility of the parts. And it's always a lot easier if you can do that. But some people don't want to do that because then they have political arguments, you know, and that's what causes bands to split apart. But if you're the only one in the band, there's nobody to complain with, you know, just yourself, you know.